Well, I started, so
There we go.
the episode's
That's
gonna
a,
start that way. So yeah, do you wanna talk about what you've been playing this week, man?
sure. I've been diving into the new technology, the technology of cloud gaming with Stadia. This week, they Madden just dropped on Stadia, and with that, if you were a Stadia Pro member, you get to play Stadia for free for the weekend. So I've been playing Madden on Stadia, and it works out really well. My internet's not super fast. Like I have pretty, I guess, like basic internet. Like I think my max download is like 25, which isn't like super hot, but like
Mm-hmm.
but it plays. Yeah, it plays Madden pretty well. I could definitely tell that sometimes I fluctuate graphically between like, oh, this game looks like PS3 and this game looks like PS4.
Uh huh.
It's like you could definitely like it's like on some downs like okay, this game kind of like stuttered a bit, and then it's like it went like it downgraded graphically just to keep the gameplay smooth.
Mm-hmm.
But like playing the game, maybe once or twice, all of a sudden like I was throwing the ball and it was like there was like a little bit of a hitch or like a little bit hitch when I was running, but like streaming the game and playing like I think I've played 4 games. Yeah, only once or twice they kind of like hitch and like okay, there's a little stuttering involved, but most times they do a pretty nice job of like adapting the graphics to keep up with whatever like my download speed is currently at as I'm playing the game.
It goes
And
from
yeah,
like
it's
NFL Blitz to like NFL Sundays. Those are blocky dudes. That's funny.
yeah, but so it's cool and yeah, it's Stadia. Yeah, it's pretty fun to play on Stadia. Pretty fun to play on the computer. I'm probably not going to play much more Stadia once my Madden like free access is over, but I think it's something we've talked about off mic often that like we both a little bit like you got that Madden it's taken care of when you downloaded for Xbox Game Pass, and I got it. It's cool to play, but I don't think it's something. It didn't like convince me not to like. Okay, I want to spend like $30 and like own Madden and like be able to play it whenever I want. It was cool to go back and play it and like have
Like
that
a
like nostalgic itch of like playing it and like like oh this is fun, but it's definitely I'll be honest with you, after my fourth game I'm like
that's it.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like I'm good. I played 4 games. I won the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Go Bucks!
That's a
And
sign. That's a sign, everybody. If you're listening, the Bucks gonna win the Super Bowl.
yeah, but after exactly, but after 4 games, like I was saying, I was like, oh, I'm good. Like I don't know how much more I really want to play a bit after that. So it was cool to play, and it's yeah, exactly what I wanted to be. Just just to see if I
Still got it.
still got it, and still have like that super deep passion for back in kind of back in the days, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2 days, like Madden was like a game that I would play like pretty often with the gang and stuff. And now, it
Yeah,
was
no.
cool. It was cool. It's cool to go back and have like that nostalgic feel and playing it, but it is what it is. It's like it's a really good football game, but it doesn't have enough like hooks to keep me on the line longer than a game or two every once in a while.
Yeah, I totally get it. It's just like a quick, like I said before. It's just like a nice. It's nice to get like one round in, like a quick round,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like not. It's not gonna make me want to start a career in Madden. Not like run through like their story mode or a franchise. It's just let me get a quick round, let me get a feel for it, and that's about it. And then you're good for like a year or two. So I totally get it. Do you get any other games with Stadia, or is that just the Madden free week?
Oh, with Stadia Pro, there's like a whole bunch of free games you get with it. I think it's like up to like probably like a dozen.
Are you playing anything else or just that?
Just that.
Just that on Stadia.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Like the biggest. Yeah, like the biggest. Like there's some like in the yeah like it's so yeah like when you get Stadia Pro, which is like $10 a month, it's trying to copy a little bit what Game Pass does. Like where they add 1 or 2 new games in, and then like they tear out one or two games out, so it's like up to a dozen. And then some of the free games I could rattle off the top of my head was the first 2 Hitmen. It's like the new one, Hitman 1 and 2. Destiny was one. Grid, which is a racing game, was another one. So some kind of some solid double type games. Nothing like home run worthy, but some solid games that you get for free. You can't complain too much about.
Nice. Cool, man. You playing anything else, or that's about it?
One other thing, I did play something else because a demo came to the Switch, so I wanted to give this game a try. It was Immortal Rising Phoenix, or
Ooh.
Phoenix Immortal Rising. It
Yeah,
was
how was
like
that?
uh a-okay. Really, like I'm gonna stick with my baseball reference, and it was like it's a solid double. It's like it's a-okay. Like I played the demo, and like okay, like surprisingly, it doesn't look that bad on the Switch because even I know like the Switch version like will have like kind of like the lowest possible graphics, but it doesn't look bad on my television. And
Yeah.
I was playing it, and it's like okay, it kind of plays like Zelda, and then it kind of has kind of like the parrying attacks of like the Batman Arkham games. Like, oh, it's just kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of go, and it's open world. But I was like, but after a while, I was like, I'm pretty good. It's like it played like an imitation of all those games instead of like kind of like an evolution or like a stepping stone. It played like a shallow version of Zelda, a shallow version of kind of like the Batman Arkham parry combat system. They're trying to go with this like humorous tone, and that didn't really vibe. That didn't really gel with me too much. And then it's like I play the demo. You play like the last thing you play on this demo, I believe, is you fight against a Cyclops, and the Cyclops battle was so boring.
Oh,
It was
jeez.
like it was just so boring and like tedious. I'm like, this is not fun at all.
Dang.
Because you're supposed to like throw something. You're supposed to throw at the Cyclops to stun him, and then if you hit him enough times, he becomes stunned, and then you attack, and then they do that and repeat and that and repeat. And the process of that was like so tedious and boring and like uninteresting. I was like, well, I'm glad I played the demo just to see what this game was all about. But it's I'm glad I do and I am a huge fan of having demos. That's it gives us the consumer like a good chance to see what the game is about before spending 50 or $60. But yeah, it's an a-okay game. It's a nice solid 7 out of 10.
Which is interesting that like you well that okay, so first of all that battle style kind of sounds like God of War, where
Mm,
like you do like to fight a monster you have to like throw something into it and then he
yeah,
stuns and you attack and then you repeat that, block a couple times and do
mm-hmm,
that. So,
exactly,
but that's
very similar.
but that's interesting because like I love God of War. Like that is just so fun to me. But also too, from someone who's played Zelda, like why is this like bootleg Zelda like not cutting it? You know what I mean? Just because like it's like half-assed or just you know what do you
Uh,
think?
well, based on the puzzles, it's the puzzle. Like the one puzzle I had was a little too simple.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of like the one puzzle I had was a little too simple. Uh, the vibe of the game is like it's trying to be like break the fourth wall, like wink wink, like Deadpool, and that wasn't really working for me.
Oh,
It's
gotcha.
like it's Zeus and Prometheus kind of telling the story, but then
Yeah.
like my character Phoenix can interrupt and be like, "No, that didn't happen. I didn't fight lions. I fought a rooster, or I fought
Yeah.
bears." So it's trying to do that. The combat system is like a little. It's like it's a little too It's not. It's a little too complex. You have like you almost have like too many options combat wise.
Gotcha.
You have like a sword, then you have an axe, and then you have an arrow, and then you have like special powers with all those. So like if you press L with the axe, that does something special. You press L with the sword, that does something special, and then you have an arrow, and then the arrow can shoot these fire arrows. It's overly complex for no apparent reason to me.
Gotcha.
It's not like I played like a little bit of God of War, and like God of War is like
One thing, pretty
it's
much.
one thing. It's like it's one button. It's simple. I understand it. So it's yeah. So it's just I guess it's trying to be Zelda without like not hitting what makes Zelda like fun. It doesn't have like that polish.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have that polish. Doesn't have that sheen. Doesn't have like that little extra step of thought.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it took a whole bunch of ideas from other games and like threw it into a pot and be like, here you go. Here's the soup of the day.
Yeah.
Instead of like trying to refine some of the things they made Zelda well, or try to like branch off of that and be like, okay, Zelda, you kind of have open world. You could go wherever you could go wherever you want. Let's take that and add upon it, or let's add upon the weaponry. Let's make these puzzles more complex.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do something a little bit different. I think
Gotcha.
mostly it's just that. I think it's mostly just the tone of the game is a little
Yeah.
like it's
Childish.
a little bit, yeah. It's trying to be goofy, but then you're also trying to be like the hero of it, and it's like, yeah, it's a little too childish, a little bit too goofy for me. That didn't vibe with me very well.
Kind of sounds like Kingdom Hearts 3. Bam! Got
Got
him.
him.
Got him.
But speaking of, we teased this last
I think
episode.
we're gonna save that.
Oh, we're gonna save the special
Yeah.
reveals to the end. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do that to kind of segue into part 2. Because if you're listening to this, we split the episodes up just to make it a little easier for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do that in the next segment. So the way these are coming out, you probably already heard it, but this is how we're recording it. So what I've been playing, man, like we talked about this a little prior to, but I got stuck in a wormhole of mobile ads and downloaded games via mobile ads. So spent a lot of time on mobile this week. I downloaded Pocket Mortys because I saw an ad for it. I think like in the app store. So I downloaded it because I thought it would be cool. Like catch all the Mortys. Why not? I love Pokemon too. So I was playing the game, but then during this game, I got another ad for this really cool looking baseball game, and I downloaded it. But I didn't go through the ad itself to download it. I did my separate search because I feel like it's a scam if I download from the ad in the game. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm a little suspicious about it. So I played this baseball game, did the whole tutorial, hit a shit ton of home runs, and I got hit with another ad. And in this ad, it was for a game called Weed Inc., which is Lemonade Tycoon for weed. And I clicked it, and I downloaded it, and I can't stop playing it. So I've been, doing this Weed Inc. game for the last like 2-3 days, and there's just something about like that Lemonade Tycoon style game that I just didn't know I really liked until now. So I've been really grinding that bad boy out. So I think I'm gonna keep playing it for a little bit, but it's not gonna take like the Strike Force level because I can already feel myself kind of like fading away from the game. But I know I'm gonna keep playing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to enjoy a lot of time on my phone playing those 3 games. So that was fun.
Oh, yeah. You just mentioned the game. I was wondering if you're familiar with the game. When you were in high school and middle school, did you ever have to use a T180 calculator?
I did.
Did you ever play a game called Drug Wars?
No, I never got games into it, which I was kind of I didn't know that one cool kid that put the games in there, so I missed it. Which also, a side note from that, that's like the only thing in the last like 20 years that has never gone on sale. So seems a little suspect to me. So good job to the Texas Instruments. So, but nah, man, I never got any games into it because I know people that like would have the games and you would just plug it into like other people's calculators and you get games, and I'm like, what the hell? I guess I wasn't that cool enough to get games, man. Plus, also, honestly, I don't think I ever got one of those calculators until I was in college.
Okay.
I kind of just got by, I guess, in high school and didn't need it. I've seen people with it, but I didn't want to get it. So, did you have that game too in there? Or?
I think other people had it. I never had it.
Yeah.
It's just it's just like a distant memory that I remember. Like you could be like playing a game with your calculator while in class as like the sneaky thing to do to like entertain yourself while you're playing a game.
I
Like
think
like it would be like focusing on calculus,
yeah,
three
right.
oh like 103. You're like just playing games or whatever on your calculator. And they don't know.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I think I was still playing with tech decks, and I was keeping myself consumed with that versus a calculator, probably.
The
So
original fidget spinner.
yeah, so I had me a couple tech decks always on deck. You never know when you gotta do a quick, kickflip no slide on a, algebra 2 textbook. So, but yeah, that was I did a lot of mobile gaming like that. But then also too, I saw that on the Game Pass that EA brought in their PopCap games, which if
Mm-hmm.
you haven't heard of PopCap, it's like this internet-based game that brought us, Bejeweled, Plants vs Zombies, Bookworm, which I surprisingly love that game too. And I forgot a couple. Zuma's Revenge, which I
Oh, tell me about Bookworm. I never played that one. The first year I'm familiar with.
Bookworm is just like a word search. So what it
Okay,
is there's like a fire at the bottom, and you have to connect words before the fires go up.
gotcha.
So you just have to. You've taken the flight to San Francisco before, right?
Mm-hmm.
During that whole flight, I played Bookworm once because it was like one
Wow.
of those games in the plane that was available, and I played it the
Mm-hmm.
whole time. That goes to
Nice.
show you how much I like that game too. So PopCap has made like a bunch of games that I really like,
Mm-hmm.
but I played Zuma's Revenge 2 or Zuma's Revenge, which is 2. But I played that just to kill some time. I forgot what I was doing, but I was like I needed like a quick little let me try it.
Mm-hmm.
Downloaded that, and then I was like, you know what? Let me just see what Plants vs Zombies is like again. And I played that for a long time because that game is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Not the Garden Warfare ones, not like the new ones, but the original one, which it still has it. I like it. So I got to spend a lot of time playing those PopCap games, which then allowed me to also jump into the phone and download Plants vs Zombies 2, and I have that on the phone also. So I've been playing a lot of that, and I've had a lot of fun playing those games. I forgot how fun they were.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but obviously, like I found the games that I want to keep playing, so it is what it is. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Zombies, classic zombies,
Nice.
nothing crazy. Strike Force, the gang. And I think that's about it. I don't think I have anything else for what I played this week, but
Very cool.
hopefully next week, I want to play maybe something new. So I saw Squadron, that new Star Wars game, is on Game
Yeah,
Pass too, and
that game
I
should be
think it's
cool.
on sale. So I wonder what that's like. And the Game Pass has its own section for Xbox X, Series X and S. Wink, wink.
Well, at least you know our clip out for the week is going to be.
That's what we're gonna start the week off with.
We
Wink.
got we got gifts, y'all. Now we could loop that around a couple times, send it around the net.
Alrighty, and that's what we've been playing this week. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Gaming Console Podcast. Now, if you're not with us on the social game, you really missing out. On Instagram, follow us at the Gaming Console Podcast. Facebook is the Gaming Console Podcast. Also, follow us on Twitter. We're the Console Boys on Twitter, so hit us up, tweet us. Everything podcast related, episode wise, go to gamingconsolepod.com.
The Council Boys in the building tonight. Oh, what a feeling. I'm feeling life.
Console Boys are out.